The Bible is God's story. It's the story of God's people. It's full of histories and poetry and drama and accounts of the life of Jesus who Christians follow. So, have you ever read the Bible? Have you ever looked at the Bible? Well, To Follow is an interview with a few people talking about the Bible, how to read it, and what it means to them. So, enjoy. Hi everyone, good to be with you today. We're going to look at the Bible and how to read the Bible. Now, the Bible is made up of lots of different books with lots of input from different people, but it actually only has one author, and that's God. Even though there's lots of different stories and histories and poetry, behind it, Christians believe that God is the one author of it all. So, Eva, turning to you, how is reading the Bible part of your life?
So I try to read the Bible every morning, very soon after I wake up. I feel that this is a really good start to my day, and it just helps me to focus on God first. And then I know that I've at least started my day well. In terms of what reading the Bible does for me, it helps me to pray and learn about God and his character. And it helps me to see, all the areas of weakness in my life. So when I read the Bible and I see something and it shows me that I might need God's help in an area, I can ask God in prayer when I'm reading the Bible to help me in those areas.
Thank you. That's really good. Alan, how about you? Do you have a go-to book of the Bible you like to read?
Yeah, it's a great question. I'm glad you asked me that. It's a good question because the whole Bible is a go-to place for me. But when you're down and you're feeling miserable, you don't feel like reading the Bible, you do need something to sort of pep your desire to read. And for me, it's Romans. I love reading Romans, and I think it was written to people. The Romans were probably closer to us in our Western style and our Western way of living than the Jews may have been at that time. And I think it probably gives me a little bit more relevance to how God is trying to reach us and how God's trying to speak to us. But having said that, then, if I really want to sort of give myself a boost, I'll read the Psalms. They're fantastic. They're beautiful verses, poetic verses, full of life. And they're so easy just to dip in and out. It's not a story like other books can be. It's a collection of verses that you can pick up and let go anywhere you want, and you can have favorite verses. Some people memorize the Psalms, but just to labor the point about it being a brilliant book, when I'm feeling really into it, my favorite book then would be John. John is just so powerful. It is so much in it. I mean, it's one of the four Gospels. There's Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Matthew, Mark, and Luke tend to be historic records, whereas John gives you a completely different perspective as to what Jesus meant and who he was. It gave you much more understanding of what God was trying to do through Jesus. It's got the verses of I am, the I am verses. I am the way, I am the good shepherd, I am the vine. It talks about being born again. If you don't understand what that means, that weird expression that we use, it's in there. But for me, the single definitive part of the Bible would, I say, go back to Romans, is Romans 8, verse 1. There is now no condemnation for those who are in Christ Jesus. It's just something that holds me.
Yeah. Absolutely. That's brilliant. Thank you. And James, what helps you in your reading of the Bible? Are there any resources you use, anything you look at? How do you read the Bible?
Yeah, good question. There is nowadays there's so much stuff, it can be quite tricky to find the right thing. But obviously we have paper Bibles, but anybody with a Bible app on their phone, you can get straight to it. It's always in your pocket. But I love to watch videos on the Bible, so there's stuff on YouTube all over the place, where you can watch outlines of biblical books, or you can watch animations of stories. There's actually some really good quality, like proper TV kind of stuff as well, which sometimes can come across a bit cheesy. But it just helps to explain the story of the Bible, especially the story of the New Testament and of Jesus, just in a bit more visual way. People don't always find reading easy. I don't always find reading easy. And when you look at the Bible, it can be quite intimidating and a bit daunting because it's just so much and it's so old. It's sometimes quite tricky to understand, but there's things you can watch, there's things you can check out, or even just like images. Kind of people do images and artwork on the Bible or Bible verses, and I just find that helps me consume more of what it is, and just learn more and read more and discover more of what the Bible's all about.
Brilliant. So I'm going to ask each of you, if you could say one thing in one sentence to somebody to encourage them to read the Bible, what would that be? So starting with you, Eva.
I would say to ask God to speak to you as you're reading the Bible.
Brilliant. Alan, how about you?
Yeah, I would say that when we have a book and we read it, we've done that. The book's read, we're okay. The Bible isn't like that. It's a dynamic thing that actually every time I pick it up, it changes. It's a different application for my life. Okay, the words might be the same, but I can read it and read it and read it, and every time it's different, and it speaks straight into the place I am, the need I've got at that time, and God is just speaking to me through that word. It is quite amazing, but it works.
Fantastic. And James, finally, one thought from you to encourage someone to pick up the Bible and read it.
Yeah, my one thought is that everybody finds it hard. And if they don't find it a little bit tricky from time to time, then they're not being honest with you. And the fact that, like, if you find it difficult or difficult to understand, or you just can't get into a place, or you're struggling, you've got time. There's time for the rest of your life to get in and understand that bit that maybe didn't make sense. Like, jump to the place where you feel comfortable, or just make sure you're getting in some way. But don't worry if you're finding it tricky. Just get your head down and see what you can do. Make it possible for yourself.
Thank you, James. And thank you, everyone. Been really great to talk to you about how to read the Bible. See you again soon. Bye.
Cheerio. Bye.
We hope you enjoyed watching that. If that's raised questions for you, then maybe go back to the person who sent the video to you, and I'm sure they're going to be able to help. But if not, please feel free to contact us here at Solihull Christian Fellowship. You can email us at inquiries@thebridgeshirley.com and someone will get back to you. We love to help you on your journey of faith.